everybody, and thanks for coming back for another puzzle. This time I have the Keybox Blue from Keybox Puzzles on Etsy. They have two other ones, the yellow and the red. They are not in production right now, so I picked this one up. This is a brand new one actually. So the yellow and the red came out before, and they just released this one, so I grabbed it. On their difficulty rating, it is a 1 out of 5. It's a very easy sequential discovery. It's intended to give less experienced puzzlers an introduction to this kind of puzzle. So I'm not expecting it to be too terribly difficult, and they don't make any illusions that it is. One thing I will say about this though is after this shipped, they reached out to me and they let me know that they had made some changes to make it slightly more difficult. Not anything like totally crazy, but they had made a couple changes to make it a little bit more difficult. So what we're seeing, what I'm going to show you today, is not the same as what they are currently producing. I don't know what the differences are just yet because they would be spoilers to let me, or to, you know, they would have to tell me what they changed and it would be spoilers. So I don't know what the differences are. But again, if you purchase this, what you'll be getting is different than what I'm solving today. And they are going to keep making the yellow and the red. They don't have any up for sale now, but they will. And when they do, we'll purchase them and we'll solve them. So they said for inexperienced puzzlers, about 10 minutes. So for us, it should be pretty quick. 5 minutes maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Here we go. Alright, so the first thing I noticed when I took this out of the box is that this front plate here moves around. We have a dovetail right here, but it doesn't shift straight out that dovetail. It just rotates and goes up and down. Rotates a little bit and goes up and down. And then we've got these 4 knobs on it. I'm guessing they unscrew. There's one. Oh, and we've got this little square here. This one does not unscrew. Neither does this one. What about this one? This one doesn't either. So maybe these are somehow keeping this in place. Oh. Oh. I can see there is a blind maze. I got it to move over a little bit farther before, and now I can't. I just did it by accident. It was one step further. I could see part of the maze. And now I can't get it to... Does this screw come out? No. Is there anything... Button push... looks like it will, but it doesn't at the moment. So let's work on... There we go. So you can see part of the maze right here. And there is a... there's a circle thing up here. But it looks like that might have been what it was rotating in. So let's see if we can continue to get this out. There might be, because it rotates like this, maybe there's some sort of rotation move. That has I can see it has a thread in it. There we go. So maybe this fits on there and it pulls something out. Oh, there we go. Okay, so there was 2 nubs on the end, and they were inside this internal maze here. And so it was up, over, down, over, and it pulled out. We've got, oh, okay, so this button and this button are, you can see as I push them, they're attached to each other. And like I said, we have this thread, so let's see if we thread this on here, if I can pull something out. Or, oh, there we go. Okay, so this part of it is reverse threaded. So you have to screw this on this piece and then keep screwing it, and it's reverse threaded, which is why it allowed us to pull it out. Is there anything in there? No, so maybe that was keeping this locked. Now do these unlock? Okay, these don't unlock yet. Oh, this, I wonder if this is also reverse threaded. You see it moves a little bit. So naturally, when we first started, what we did is unscrew it like you normally would to the left, just because that's how screws work. So maybe it's reverse threaded. No, it doesn't want to come out. It moves. You can see it moves a little bit, but it doesn't want to come out just yet. So it's not reverse threaded. What happens if I put, so this piece was in like this, with this unthreaded piece in. So what happens if I put it back in this way? I don't think I'm going to be able to get it in because that is reverse threaded. So that, you know, the threads are different, so it's not going to, can I push this in further, I wonder? Let's put this back on here. Like, is it kind of like a button I can push in that unlocks this, maybe? Okay, we got something rattling around in there. Oh. So, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to show it on camera, but right here on the left of this screw, there is a little triangular notch. So this is not a full thread. It's going to pull out at some point. So maybe instead of screwing it, I was just supposed to pull it out. No. So it's going to pull out, but it must be attached to, let's see. Yeah, so this one and this are linked to each other. What about these two? Oh, do they push in? Haha! So this one pushes in, is spring-loaded. This one does not. So this is spring-loaded. So what I'm going to try is push this in, and then maybe it'll pull this out, or this out. There we go. And then can I pull this out, or this out? There we go. And then this. Still no. This is probably our last locking mechanism. So what we did, we pushed this one in, which allowed us to pull this one out, which allowed us to pull this out. And there's that angular notch that I was talking about. So this piece must have been sitting in here like this, which was preventing us from pulling it out. So what happens if I put it back in this way? Oh, I can't get the thread through. Can I fit this one down in there? No. What about the buttons here? Okay, I thought this would have been locking this in place. And then this is probably locking these in place. I think this little blue thing here behind this slot is our final. So does this maybe fit down in here? Nope. So what was the point of this piece? Was it just another locking mechanism? Like just another, is it deep enough to, yep. Yeah, so that could have been sitting inside this as a, it's kind of tough to get back in. There we go. pull something out with it. Does this come further out maybe? As far as this comes out. Maybe I push this in and pull up on this, or something with these buttons here. So I can see. Wait, I'm definitely not going to be able to show that on camera. Let's see. Right facing this corner here is a little extra piece. Grab some paper here. So, looking down on it like this, we have a cylinder like this, and this isn't exactly how it's drawn or designed, but right here is a little extra piece which is preventing me from rotating it. So this is going to have to come straight out. See if I can see anything down. I should get a little handheld flashlight so I don't have to. Okay, so I can see the cylinder down there. So this must have been a locking piece on it. It's a little bit more challenging than I was expecting. Does this pull out? They said about 10 minutes, and we're at that mark there. So this is pretty good. Now I think we're just right at the end, and we're just kind of missing one thing. I would have thought that this would have been a locking piece inside this cylinder here. It is, because this isn't going up at all. When I pull it out, I can pull it up a little bit more. So is it the buttons? And we determined that this can't fit in there, right? No, because of the angle here. I think I tried this already. I can see it moving in there. Yeah, so the cylinder, this has a part of it finishes this notch, which is what was preventing it from moving up and down. So it should just pull out. What could be preventing me from... Surely it's not. I wonder if it's just this button. And I even think this would be another locking. Is that rattling? Is that this? Or is there something else going on? I'm going to have to use... I don't have anything skinny enough to... So there's a ball bearing or something of some sort. So I wonder if it's an angle thing. Let's try... when we're shaking it, this is moving, but it's got to be careful here we don't There's something else moving in there. Maybe upside down. There we go. Oh, it's supposed to be a spin move. There's two pins. No, maybe not. Why aren't they? So they were in these two holes here. When I held it upside down, but when I spin, they don't both. Maybe I'm just not spinning it hard enough. When I spin, they both go in for some reason. Oh. So they're not straight like this. They're angled down a little bit. That's why when I'm spinning, they come out, but then because they're angled down, they're falling back in. So that's why it was upside down. When you turn it upside down, now they're going up into there. So they're like this. We turn it upside down, and they come into their little channels like this. So it's not a spin move. It's just literally just turning it upside down. So now we're probably at the end. Yep. Push that. And rotate. Okay, now you can see those pins in there, right there. It's very sensitive to turning it. Well, you can see the holes in there. There's two, and that's where those pins are living. Okay, and there's our little Keybox. 15 minutes. Okay, so I mean it was easy in a sense. You know, there's definitely more challenging puzzles, of course, but it wasn't the easiest thing in the world. This little angled pin thing, I don't think I've seen anything like that. That's very clever. Usually with pins, you know, they're straight in, you spin, out they go. But not the angled. That's tricky. That's very clever. So this must have been this here. This is the channel I was talking about that this fits into. So it's got so this was through it like this. And we can see, I'm not going to be able to show it. There's a square piece that kind of goes in like this. And when we push the button and pull this piece out, it raises, and that's what allows us to pull that cylinder out. So that's the extent of the mechanism that I was able to show you. So let's go ahead and reset it. This goes in like this. Oh, and this wasn't able to come out because it's got this slot in it, and this was sitting in it like this. Okay, so let's put this back in, put it flush. Now we need to turn it upside down so those two pins go up. Let's see, it goes in. Oh, it only goes in. Oh, this is that notch that I was talking about, this here. So it's actually, instead of this little piece, it's actually like this. And it goes down into this chamfer here, which was, like I said, preventing me from rotating it. So we're going to turn it upside down, put this in, and those two angled pieces will go back in. Then we put this in like this. Need to pull this out so it goes in. Push that back in. Then we put this in. Oh, we need to let's get this knife out of the way. Put this back on. This is tough to get back in because it's reverse threaded. When you first get this thread to start, it grips. And then the blue piece pulls off. So maybe that was one of the updates that they made, making it a little bit easier to Oh, excuse me. There we go. Alright, I'll put this piece back on. And lastly this, so we're going right, up, left, down. So it goes like this, right, up, left, down. So there you go. That's the Keybox Blue. Reasonably priced. I think I paid, I don't know, $30 for it or so, 35. Definitely a great little starter puzzle for someone who is not, you know, like really into, there's just kind of starting to get into puzzles. If that's you, if you're watching this channel and you're just starting to get into it, I definitely recommend getting this one and then trying to solve it on your own, because those, whatever changes they made, the mechanism is different. So you'll be able to kind of take what you learned here and apply that to whatever they change. So right, up, left, down. Yeah, you know, definitely a great little puzzle. I appreciate it. It's well made, and it's got a couple different little mechanisms that are, you know, a little bit different than something you would. Oops. Uh-oh. Why can't I get this back in now? There we go. That, you know, that you might find on other puzzles. So that is it for this one. Moonplay Cosmetics, as usual, Bluetooth app. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.